Every single thing that I have read or heard from any of the different masters is that the power of white magic, the power of goodness, the power of grace, always, always, always is more powerful than black magic. It doesn't matter how dark it is. Light always dispels darkness. There definitely are practices that are the exact opposite of what we are meant to do here, which is share love and share goodness and share peace, and that are created to share pain. It absolutely exists, but every single thing that I have read or heard from any of the different masters is that the power of what you can think of as white magic, the power of goodness, the power of grace, always, always, always is more powerful than black magic. Light always dispels darkness. It doesn't matter how dark it is. It doesn't matter how thick the darkness is. Light will always dispel it. There's no darkness that is so strong that it cannot be dispelled by light. So yes, it exists, but it's not something to be afraid of. And if it is something that you think about or worry about, it just reminds you, align yourself with the light. Because the light will always dispel the darkness. So align yourself with goodness. Align yourself with grace. Connect to that. It's like if you are a flashlight or a strobe light, there's nothing the darkness can do to that. You know, we're sitting here, it's probably around 7, but we could sit here till midnight or 1 in the morning. Doesn't matter how dark it gets. It can't do anything to that light. So it's a teaching to become the light, such that nothing can stick. When I was a kid at summer camp, we used to play this game in the lake that was sort of a mix of soccer, or what you call football here, or basketball, like any game where you're required to get a ball from one side to the other side. But in this game, instead of being a ball, it was a watermelon. So you imagine you've got 2 teams of kids in the water, and the goal is to get the watermelon from one side to the other to make a goal. But what they did was they covered the watermelon with grease, cooking grease, like butter, margarine, and Cisco or something. They covered it with that. Now, imagine you're in the water. Imagine you try to grab a watermelon that has been covered with about 1 inch thick of cooking grease. What happens? You grab it, it goes. Somebody else grabs it. Okay. Now, it was stickiness. Because there was no way to grab that watermelon as long as it was covered with grease. If it wasn't, no problem. But because it was covered with grease, nobody could actually grab it and hold it. And in the same way, if you think about covering yourself, you can think about it nicer, like ghee, rather than, some kind of gross cooking grease. But think about it like beautiful ghee or beautiful olive oil, right? And just think that your practices are covering you with this beautiful pure ghee or beautiful pure olive oil, however you envision it, such that nothing that anybody tries to throw at you energetically can stick. It'll all just come right off. And in terms of the people we interact with, yeah, lots of energy. And this is where I have my favorite, what I call my wetsuit technique. If you've ever been scuba diving or ever seen anybody who goes scuba diving, so you put on a wetsuit. Now the wetsuit does not keep you dry, right? It allows in a little bit of water. The body heat of your body warms up that water so that when you go in as a scuba diver, you stay warm. Not because the ocean has become warm, not because you are untouched by water, but because your body heat has created a field around you, an energetic field of warmth around you, such that no matter how cold the ocean is, you are warm from your own heat. And I think about this a lot. It's a technique that I use a lot. I've shared it a lot. Is when you have to go into situations where you know you're going to be in the presence of a lot of negative energy, before you go, sit down and have your beautiful meditation. And at the end of your meditation, imagine yourself literally zipping up your energetic spiritual wetsuit. And then take a few moments and literally warm up the energetic field, the psychic field or the auric field around you with your energy, such that now when you move through the world, you're moving through that world no matter how cold it might be, but you're in your spiritual wetsuit. So it's not about being disconnected. It's not about blocking people. It's not about having to warm up the whole ocean, changing everybody. It's just about being able to have your own wetsuit in warm water. You're moving through negative energy in an energetic field of love.